All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 488 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football, and I really don't want to do this, but I need to do this. I shouldn't be doing this, but I need to do this. Marcus Mariota, the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, he's been the talk of the community or of the, this content creator section of the Atlanta Falcons football. It's really, really interesting to see how this is going. And I'm watching fans, I'm watching content creators, I'm watching the play on the field. And once again, I'm going to give my 2 cents about this whole situation. I talked about this on Mad Mike's show, the post-game show. I gave my 2 cents there. And I'm just going to do a continuation of that. If you haven't watched that, go back and check it out. Mad Mike is a pretty cool content creator. Him, K-Styles, Juice Talk Sports, and everybody under that umbrella. They do a pretty good job of covering Atlanta sports. But I want to just continue because this last 48 hours has gotten, pretty much worse. And it's nothing new for the, for this, fan base or whatever the case may be. But it's going to continue to get interesting as the rest of the season goes. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I just want to thank you guys. I say this all the time. I thank you guys for coming through. If you've been a loyal listener, a loyal watcher, you guys have been great. I really, really appreciate it. I can't thank you guys enough. I come to this episode with a little bit of, I'm not depressed, but I just feel a little down because once again, I see a fan base once again split on something that's really, in my opinion, is cut and dry. I don't think it's anything that has to do with Marcus Mariota, the person. I don't think it has anything to do with the team collectively. I do feel that Marcus is somewhat of the blame for a lot of the losses. Now, I understand the defense isn't what it is, and like I said, I explained myself before, and I'll do it again in a different tone. I feel that Marcus Mariota could win football games for the Falcons. I'm not going to sit here and say he can't. It's one of the reasons why I feel the way I do about this, because I feel that he can. He has won games for the Falcons. But you have situations where things that he do, things that he are incapable, that's not capable of doing, things that he literally don't perform or don't produce at the level that we would like to see, being the cause of him, of us, the team, I'll say the team, losing games. That doesn't make me a Mariota hater, or I don't hate the team, or I don't have that type of issue with the team per se, like I'm that upset with the team. I'm upset because I know this is not necessarily a popular opinion, but I feel that Mariota could do better. I witnessed Marcus Mariota possibly gave away, or probably was the reason why we lost 3 to 5 games this season. And you're looking at a team that's 5-8. If you flip 4 of those games around, we're almost a double-digit win team. I said this earlier this season. I still feel that we're the best team in this division. But even with all of that, I still feel like it's one person. And I know people don't want to hear this, but I feel like it's one person that's holding this team back. All throughout social media today. And I'm not just talking about your average Twitter person. I'm talking about people who knows football. People who make a living watching and talking about football. Sitting here asking questions about what Mariota's going to do. What Coach Arthur Smith's going to do. The common denominator here is a lot of people looking at Desmond Ridder like, look, not looking at Desmond Ridder, but looking at Marcus Mariota like, look, you need to step up your play or we're going to continue to lose games. I just made an episode on this about, the Falcons will continue to lose games because of this. I just made a video about it. The episode. Something needs to be done with the quarterback position. I'm not sitting here and saying that Desmond Ridder should start because I don't know. Because I really don't know if he's going to be the answer. Nobody knows he's going to be the answer. But when you look at the play from Marcus Mariota, what he has done, not in a total sense, but what he has done in a lot of situations this season are benchable offenses. You would be riding the bench in any other scenario. I've seen people get on the bench for less. So I feel like at this point, this season is a wash. I believe that at this point. I hate to say it like that. I believe that the season is a wash. Even if Marcus Mariota plays up to his potential and actually win the rest of these games, mathematically we're still in it, but I don't see us going any further. I would like for us to make the playoffs. You still get some type of recognition from other free agents, and you still create a winning culture by making the playoffs. But I just don't think that this guy is the one, even though he's a stopgap. I get it. But that doesn't mean we have to sit back and just accept the style of play or accept the level of play right now. I don't care if you're a stopgap or you're a placeholder. You could be the third string backup. I want you to go out there and perform to the point where we can win a game or we can win games. You could be Felipe Franks for all I care. I want you to go out there and help us win a game. I don't want you to be the reason why that we're losing. If we lose and you go down swinging, that's fine. But you can't lose by handing the ball to the other team. You can't lose by putting us in bad situations. And that does not just go for Marcus Mariota. That goes for anybody who's being a detriment to the team with false starts, holding, not covering your man, blown coverages, not catching the ball. That goes for all. It's not just a Marcus Mariota or a quarterback thing. It goes for anybody who's actually out there being a hindrance to the team. And this is why I am actually, frustrated. Because like I said earlier, I feel that we're the best team in the division. The Panthers just got rid of Baker Mayfield. They don't know what they're doing. The Saints, they're about to play the Buccaneers, and one of those teams are going to leapfrog us in the division. But both of them are 5-7 or something like that. 5-6 or something. I mean, they both got horrible records like us. And I feel with the team that we have and the way we lost against the Saints, the way we lost against the Bucs, I still feel like we could go back and beat those guys easily if we have the proper execution on the field. You don't overthrow players. You don't throw interceptions. You don't make bad decisions. Those things turn the tide of a whole game. And when I just talked about the two teams that's probably going to leapfrog us, the Buccaneers and the Saints, we literally was not in a position to lose that game. We put ourselves in that position. I know the refs made a bad call with the Grady Jarrett situation, and Marcus Mariota fumbled the snap against the Saints. And people could say, oh, they went right back down and scored. Yeah, but like I said yesterday, who gave them the ball right back? Gave them the ball right back for them to score. I mean, it's not like they scored and they got the ball on the kickoff and scored again. We should have been able to get back on the field and sustain a drive and go a 1-for-1 with their score. Okay, you score, we're gonna go out there and score. You're not about to catch us. But we didn't have that happen. And when stuff like that don't happen, when you can't sustain and maintain a drive, you're going to look at the quarterback. Now, I don't want to touch on the fan base too much, and I don't like to talk about other content creators because I'm pretty cool with everybody who's under this Atlanta Falcons umbrella, so I won't go that deep into this. But I feel like the fan base have every right to feel how they feel, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not going to tell the fan base, no, you shouldn't feel this way about Marcus, or yes, you should feel. If you feel positive about Marcus, you think he's doing a good job, kudos, hats off to you. Now, you just agree to disagree, but hats off to you for having that opinion. If you feel like he needs to be, on the bench, you think it needs to be changed, same thing, kudos, hats off to you, because I don't have the energy to go back and forth with fans like that. Now, content creators, I hold content creators to a slightly higher standard, whether we're just like me as an amateur or otherwise, because we take the time to look at this stuff. We look at what's going on the field. We have to make these type of, podcasts, videos, and shorts, and, put out certain stuff on social media. We have to look at this stuff. So I look at them at a different standard. And I understand that we're going to disagree on a lot of things. I mean, that's just the way it is. But one thing's for certain, we can both be right at the same time. I'm not saying that anybody was wrong with any of the commentary that we talked about the other day. I don't think that there was anything wrong with that commentary. But I do feel that we have to respect what it is that we're talking about. I respect everything that people said. The defense can't tackle. They can't stop the run. We have some issues in the secondary. I get it. But I will counter that argument and say, look, I believe you're correct, but the Falcons are holding teams down to less than 20 to 21 points a game. That right there should be a recipe for us to have enough offense to win. We should be averaging 25 to 30 while we're giving up 20 to 21. We should be winning more games than not. But it goes back to the 1, 2, maybe 3 mistakes that happens on the quarterback. Because everything we talk about with the defense, and this is why I try to explain to the content creators and people that may want to ask me questions about this, with all the problems on defense, once again, the main stat that counts the most is the score. And if the opposition is getting field goals, 4 or 5 field goals a game, 1 touchdown a game, they're only scoring 18, 19, 21 points, that stat line right there is the most important. And that just shows me that we should be able to stay on the field and score some touchdowns. And that doesn't even go to the narrative saying that I think this team is good. I just think in an offensive laden league, you should be able to put up 25 points, 24 points. In a team, in a league that thrives on offense. And you got all these weapons at running back, you got some weapons at receiver. And I know Kyle Pitts is out, but you still got some weapons at receiver that can do some things. Drake London actually looked pretty good the last game against, the Steelers. The other guys look okay. Some guys dropped some passes. But with that being said, we are fairly efficient when we play safe. If we continue to play safe and not try to do too much, Marcus Mariota overthrowing people, Marcus Mariota is being inaccurate, this, that, and the third, even as sometimes the running game is not necessarily there all the way. But on offense, I'm just saying on offense, we should be able to put up points against any of these defense that would. The only one that may give us a problem is Dallas, because Dallas defense looks really good. Maybe the Eagles too, but the Dallas defense look really good. But all these other teams, we should be able to at least match what they're putting out. 19-16 is okay, but there was some opportunities where we should have had touchdowns. Overthrew Drake London in the end zone. Overthrew a couple of guys on a deep pass. So I will say this again before I get out of here. With all the defensive problems that we have, we're still holding teams down to less than 21 points for the most part. We should be able to score more than that. When you talk about an offense that's not scoring points, guess who's the person that's going to be looked at first? It's just the way it is. Do I agree with it? In some cases, no. But when I look at the tape and see what's going on with the quarterback, it made me give me a reason to actually say, hey, wait a minute. He may have something to do with this. That's all I've been saying. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Before I get out of here, click that link down in the description, BetUS. Click that link down. We'll talk more about BetUS. Put in $100, get 125% sportsbook bonus. Get that money so you can bet on some of these games. We'll do a whole episode or a whole video on that sometime down the road because, you know, putting up wages on these teams, on these games is going to get really interesting. I can be found on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Also on YouTube and Rumble. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening. If you made it this far, subscribe to the channel. Give me a 5-star rating over there on that star chart over there on Apple. Let your friends know what we're doing over here. All right, y'all. I'll take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.